Welcome to Fast Break, a channel for anything and everything NBA related. In today's video, we'll be going over what to expect from Zion this season. After being sidelined with an injury, Williamson is looking to have a bounce-back season with the Pelicans. A healthy Zion paired with a new and improved Pelican squad could wreak havoc this season. But let's start with how we got here. Zion was one of the most hyped NBA prospects of all time. From dunking on kids in high school to winning ACC Athlete of the Year for Duke, Zion has always turned heads. Highlight dunks and blocks flooded social media before Williamson even stepped foot in the NBA. Unfortunately, Zion suffered a torn meniscus in the preseason of his rookie year. Injuries have always been a concern for the young star considering his weight and play style. So when he finally took the floor for the New Orleans Pelicans in January of 2020, it was a treat for all NBA fans. In just 18 minutes, Zion put up 22 and 7 on a staggering 72% from the field. Everybody got a taste of what he can do in this league. Standing at just 6'6", Zion plays much bigger than he looks, even at the highest level of competition. As was it Spartanburg or Duke, Zion was finally playing amongst the best players in the world, but that didn't matter. He was still a force to be reckoned with. Williamson played in the last 25 games of his rookie campaign, averaging 22 and 6 on 58% shooting. The first rookie since Shaq to average at least 22 points per game on 55% shooting from the field. Not only that, but he also joined LeBron, Luka, and KD as the only players to average 25 points per game at the age of 20 or younger. A sure sign of dominance. But we all knew he was just scratching the surface. Leading into his sophomore season, Zion wanted to prove he could be a reliable star in the NBA, and he did just that, playing in 61 of the 72 games while averaging 27 and 7 on 61% shooting from the field. Zion earned his first All-Star selection, but the Pelicans missed the playoffs. He also didn't play the last 6 games due to a fractured finger. But since New Orleans was already out of the playoff picture, it was a no-brainer to let Zion sit. The Pelicans have always erred on the side of caution with each of Williamson's injuries. But in 2021, they had no control over what happened. During the offseason, Zion fractured his foot and had to undergo surgery. Despite rumors of a potential return throughout the year, Zion never came back and missed out on his third season as a whole. The only silver lining in the season was how the Pelicans did without Zion. With Brandon Ingram stepping into the #1 role and a trade in February for CJ McCollum, the Pels were looking solid. Players like Josh Hart and Jonas Valanciunas had a great impact while rookies Jose Alvarado and Herb Jones proved to be valuable roster pieces moving forward. They ended up winning 2 play-in games before losing to the first-seeded Phoenix Suns in 6 games. While they didn't come out on top, most people thought they'd just get swept. Instead, they proved that even without their star player, they were still a competitive team. If they can play like that and just slide Zion into the lineup, they could be a real contender in the West. In the summer of 2022, the Pelicans put all their faith into Williamson, despite some speculation over his future in New Orleans over the past few months. The Pelicans signed Zion to a 5-year rookie max extension worth $193 million. But if he makes an All-NBA team or wins a major award next season, it could rise to $231 million. The contract also contains a weight clause. Zion will have periodic weigh-ins over the span of the deal, and if his weight plus body fat percentage is above 295, he could lose money. Zion had this to say about his extension. "For the Pelicans to give me this birthday gift, I'm not going to let them down," he said after officially signing the extension on his birthday, July 6th. "I'm not going to let the city down. I'm not going to let my family down. Most importantly, I'm not going to let myself down. The ultimate goal is to win a championship. That's what we're all striving for. We're hungry." Clearly, Zion is highly motivated to come back and prove that he's deserving of the hype and the contract. The Pelicans play through Ingram regularly with no Zion, but if you want to unlock point forward Zion, you need to get him the ball. This will depend on the lineup they're looking to run. Is Herb Jones ready to be a legit starter? Well, it depends on if they want to run CJ at point guard. As of right now, Zion is the 4 with Valanciunas at the 5, and then CJ can play the 1 or the 2, and Ingram can play the 2 or the 3. So that leaves either Herb Jones, Jose Alvarado, or Devontae Graham as a starter. Graham wasn't effective for them come playoff time while Alvarado stepped up and proved his effectiveness. For a small ball lineup, they would most likely play both Alvarado and Jones, then just take out Valanciunas. But based on how Herb Jones finished the year, it may be tough to keep him out the starting lineup. If he joins the starters, CJ will slide into the 1, but if not, then Alvarado could be poised to take over point guard duties. With a lack of guards, Alvarado's development is key for the Pels to have a balanced lineup, but it looks like Herb Jones also has what it takes to be a really solid player in the NBA. Either way, the addition of Zion makes the lineup that much more dynamic and lethal. It allows for CJ to focus less on scoring and more on playmaking and defense, especially if he's going to be playing point guard. This leaves the bulk of the scoring to Zion and Ingram, who have both proved to be effective scorers. Willie Green will have this team playing tough defense too. With all the speed, length, and size, they have potential to be a threat on both sides of the ball. As we take a look at Zion's history and the trajectory of the Pelicans team as a whole, this situation could play out in a number of ways. Let's start with the off-season videos of Zion. It looks like he's been in the gym putting in work. If he could come in the season healthy and in tip-top shape, then the potential is off the charts. Williamson is a dark horse MVP candidate if the cards fall in his favor. His ceiling is the roof. MVP and a shot at the championship is not out the realm of possibilities for the young phenom. Unfortunately, that sky-high ceiling is paired with a treacherous floor, and that would be another injury. At this point, Zion has significant history with lower body injuries. His frame and play style don't make it any easier. Every time Zion hits the floor, everybody cringes, and it'll probably be that way for a while. Players that have an extensive injury history, like Embiid and Kawhi, still scare fans when they go down. But again, that's the worst case scenario, with MVP being the best case. But in reality, the most likely outcome would be something in between. The Pelicans don't need him to have an MVP type season. Something similar to the 27-7 on 61% shooting he put up in his second season will be a huge addition in itself to what they had last year. I think what New Orleans really wants is just to see Zion on the floor for most of the season. They've played it safe each time an injury has popped up, and they'll most likely do that for as long as he's on the team. Something like a minutes restriction isn't out of the question for the young star, especially early on, but look to see him making an impact this coming NBA season. Thanks for watching. Let us know how you think Zion and the Pelicans will do this season down in the comments. And don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more NBA content.